When Mitsubishi first launched the Xpander in 2018, nobody really knew if it would succeed in the Philippines given the lackluster sales of the Mitsubishi Fusion. But actually, the Xpander and its Xpander Cross twin have been big hits for the Philippines, forming a trifecta for Mitsubishi Motors Philippines that includes the Mirage, the Montero Sport SUV, and this. But unfortunately for Mitsubishi, it's not alone. The Hyundai Stargazer and Honda BRV came out sometime last year. So can the Xpander Cross, with all its updates, still succeed in the market? Let's find out. Let's kick off with the 2023 Xpander Cross's styling. This is of course an evolution of the dynamic shield concept. We still have the high-mounted LED daytime running lights, the LED headlights have been tweaked a little bit, and of course, there are LED fog lights. Taking a look down the side of the 2023 Xpander Cross, it's more of the same. We have chrome mirror caps, which remind me of my old Isuzu Highlander, and of course, we have two-tone 17-inch alloy wheels. And of course, an Xpander Cross trademark are these matte black claddings around the wheel arches and down the side of the car. These do an excellent job of protecting this beautiful pearl white paint job, but I feel it lacks the elegance of a Honda BRV or a Hyundai Stargazer. In addition to these, we have these metal roof rails for more adventure and more cargo space. And of course, in addition to the 2023 model is this black two-tone roof that really sets off well with this pearl white paint. Under the hood of the Xpander Cross, nothing really special here. No turbochargers, no hybrid system. It's a 1.5-liter twin-cam, 16-valve unit with 103 horsepower and 141 Nm of torque, and what may be the world's smallest car battery. Of course, this is mated to a 4-speed automatic transmission. And as you may know, this is available with a CVT in other markets. Does it make a difference? We'll find out in a bit. Out back, of course, on top, we have this black tailgate spoiler, these wraparound LED taillights, which have been updated for 2023. And happily, they've made the lower rear bumper a lot cleaner for this updated model. Now, I'm not usually in all fours this early in the day, but I must show you the rear suspension of this Xpander Cross, which actually gets its shock absorbers from the larger Montero Sport. What's the benefit of this? By using the shock absorbers of a bigger and heavier car on a smaller vehicle, it makes it more durable, especially over rough terrain. And you'll also notice that the spare wheel isn't inside the car. So you don't have to unload the cargo area in order to remove the spare wheel. Although the thing is, like we used to do in the 90s, make sure to put a chain and a padlock or else you're gonna have a missing spare wheel. Stepping inside the 2023 Xpander Cross, and you realize one thing, it's very easy to get in and out of with this high roof and fairly low floor. You don't have to clamber up unlike in a Montero Sport. Once you do step inside, you get a navy blue leather interior, which also extends this nice vinyl on the dashboard, even with its own stitching, although you will find these hard, scratchy plastics add a little cheapness to the interior. Of course, there's plenty of storage space for things like your phone and our equipment, some cup holders in the middle and on the side, and of course, there's this huge center console which contains things like my cameraman Patrick's camera and my cameraman Patrick's salary, which he will not get if I don't look good in this video. Continuing with the front cabin of the 2023 Xpander Cross is a 7-inch touchscreen infotainment system which is currently playing music from my generation. There's also an 8-inch LCD display which includes a tachometer and speedometer, and of course a fuel consumption meter. And of course, we have this leather-wrapped Montero Sport steering wheel. Sitting in the second row of the 2023 Xpander Cross is very pleasant. There's plenty of room. Of course, that's because the seat is set for someone of my height. But even a 6-footer were here and move the seat back, there's still plenty of room because of the flat floor. There's also this nice second row air conditioning and these USB ports to charge your devices. And of course, the seat back of the center seat can actually be converted into an armrest with its own cup holders. And as part of its safety features, ISOFIX does come as standard in the Xpander Cross. If you happen to be exactly 5'4", you will fit just fine in the third row of the 2023 Xpander Cross. Legroom is a bit tight, but of course the second row can be slid forward. And if you need to charge your devices, there's a handy 12-volt socket here for whatever you need. And also cup holders. And to wrap up the interior, let's talk about cargo space, where the Xpander Cross really pulls ahead of its rivals. When you open this tailgate, you get a big aperture with a low loading lip. And the third row seats up, you get a class-leading 495 liters of space. You can, of course, fold these flat, and you get 781 liters of space and good room for 5 passengers. Now let's talk about the safety kit of the 2023 Mitsubishi Xpander Cross. Of course, you get a standard driver and passenger side airbag and stability control. And there's a feature that I haven't heard since the days of the Mitsubishi Lancer Evolution, and it's called active yaw control. Mitsubishi claims that active yaw control will help you stay in charge and in control of your Xpander Cross even in curved roads and slippery conditions. However, with all of this sunny weather, I haven't been able to test it. However, it is nice to have. One thing to note though is that the safety tech is a little bit behind on its rivals, especially with the top-of-the-line BRV, which I'll explain in a bit. Okay, right now we're behind the wheel of the 2023 Mitsubishi Xpander Cross, and what do I think? Well, it's quite easy to drive in the city. The steering is light, if a bit numb, and this is most apparent when you're near 100 kilometers an hour, and you will notice that you have to make constant corrections in order to keep the car straight. Some more steering weight would be appreciated. There also needs to be some work done on the brakes, which feel very mushy and don't feel quite as strong as they should be. Then again, it could be because the car is still braking in under 1,000 kilometers. Maybe later on the brake pads will feel a little bit better. And now we move on to the subject of the 4-speed automatic transmission. Many people would say, oh, it should have a CVT. But does it really matter? If you're just driving around town, not really. This 4-speed is fairly responsive and it will kick down and get a move on when you want it to. However, because it is a 4-speed, the gearing is quite high. Second gear red lines at 106 kilometers an hour. So when you are trying to overtake, especially when you're fully loaded, you will feel that acceleration is lacking. If you're down to me, considering this engine produces quite a bit of torque at around 2,000 to 3,000 RPM already, I would prefer a manual transmission or a 6-speed automatic. Nonetheless, they decided to retain this normal 4-speed because of the familiarity with the parts, and of course, it tends to be more durable, especially when you're doing long distances. And of course, there's the subject of the suspension. This is the Xpander Cross's strong suit because it has the shock absorbers from a Montero Sport. So even if I'm on this flyover and I go over this bump here, it feels very supple indeed. In fact, I drove this car through a fairly rutted dirt road and I wasn't jiggled half to death. So Mitsubishi did a good job in that respect. The 2023 Mitsubishi Xpander Cross, in conclusion, just makes complete sense. From its class-leading 225mm ground clearance to its roomy 7-seat cabin, it just works well as a family car. And at 1,328,000 pesos, it's certainly priced to take on the likes of the Stargazer and the BRV. However, it does face problems from its younger rivals, which offer more safety tech and a more refined driving experience. But let's just say that the Xpander Cross is the last of its kind, using traditional and proven 90s tech that is durable enough to go out of town or in the city. So it could still work today as a great family car. Will it affect its sales? Let's see. Did you enjoy this review? Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel and don't forget to like us on Facebook and follow us on TikTok and Instagram. I'm VJ Bakuan from Auto Fun Philippines. See you around.